Ahead tonight, some of Mexico's best soccer players are in Fort Smith. We'll tell you about the good cause they played for this weekend. Plus, a Fort Smith fire chief is among those remembered this weekend at the National Firefighters Memorial. We'll also have the latest from the Vatican, where the process to select the next pope begins this week.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at 10.
We're going to start tonight with the forecast. We're taking a live look out over the Fayetteville Square right now. Beautiful lights. It was another super nice day today to end the weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for your 5 News at 10. I'm Kayla Davis. Joshua Weisel starts our coverage at the 5 News Weather Center. Josh, like I said, it was so beautiful today. I have my fingers crossed that it's going to stay like this, but that's not really what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, we are not going to see this last forever.
Some of the best soccer players in Mexico spent the afternoon in Fort Smith playing for a cause. 5 News reporter Parker Abels shows us how the event will help one organization make a difference. The Arkansas Family Alliance is hoping to make this event an annual game, bringing in new teams from Mexico each year. Well, Fort Smith Fire Chief is among the firefighters honored this weekend at the National Memorial. Chief Philip Christensen was among the more than 140 firefighters who died in the line of duty in recent years that were remembered. Christensen died in 2023 at the age of 54 from exposure he suffered during his time as a firefighter. He gave 30 years of service to the fire department. Communities here in Northwest Arkansas also took time today to honor our fallen firefighters. In Siloam Springs, the fire department's honor guard hosted what's become known as Bells Across America. The station also lit up red last week leading up to today's memorial. Election officials in Sebastian County are getting ready for a special election. One of the most closely watched races on the ballot is a sales tax that will go to funding consent decree work in Fort Smith. Several other Sebastian County towns will also be voting on issues as well. Early voting sites will be open starting this Tuesday at the Sebastian County Courthouse in Fort Smith and Mansfield City Hall, and Election Day is Tuesday, May 13th. President Trump gave one of his most wide-ranging interviews since returning to the White House today. Christian Benavides breaks down what he had to say about a number of issues facing his administration. Well, new at 10, President Trump also issued an executive order today, directing the government to reopen the infamous Alcatraz federal prison. It's located on an island off the coast of California and has been closed for more than 6 decades. The prison was known for its inescapability due to the strong ocean currents and cold waters around it. It was closed in 1963 due to crumbling infrastructure and the high cost of maintaining the island. And developing tonight, law enforcement in Brazil say they've arrested 2 people that were plotting to bomb a Lady Gaga concert this weekend. The concert happened in Rio de Janeiro and was the biggest in Lady Gaga's career, with an estimated 2.5 million people in attendance. According to investigators, the 2 people who were arrested were trying to recruit teenagers to help carry out the attack. They believe the group was trying to target LGBT individuals. A spokesperson for Lady Gaga released a statement saying she only learned of the allegations today, and law enforcement didn't raise any safety concerns ahead of the concert. And looking ahead, the trial of Sean Diddy Combs is set to begin this week in New York City, with jury selection scheduled for tomorrow. The federal trial comes 8 months after his arrest for charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. The indictment against Combs alleges he used his employees and fame to abuse several women. His attorneys allege no crimes occurred and the relationships were consensual. Testimony is expected to last several months, and because it's a federal court case, cameras will not be allowed inside the courtroom. If convicted on all charges, Combs faces decades in prison. Well, still ahead tonight, we'll have the latest from the Vatican, where Catholic Church leaders are preparing to select the next pope. And coming up, we take a look back at a huge weekend for the Arkansas baseball and softball teams, with each pulling off a massive series win over a top 10 team. That's later in sports.